Foundation Friday time. This is where I test out new foundation every single Friday on my channel, 6 p.m. Pacific time. There are some very loud birds happening outside right now, / this entire video. But today we're testing out a brand new foundation from Makeup Forever. This is their Makeup Forever Reboot. I think that's all it's called. Yep, that's it. So this foundation retails for $39. It comes in 24 shades. As you can probably tell, this is not quite my shade. So they sent this in PR. They sent a couple shades that were in the 300 range. So I feel like maybe I got mixed up with someone else's PR package because I've never been in the 300 range in my entire life. Right now, the lightest shade is R208. This is Y315. So you guys will see how I made it work in the video. But the claims on this one says light to medium coverage, skin revitalizing foundation that adds a radiant satin finish while hydrating, smoothing, and firming the skin for 24 hours. So that all sounds fantastic. Ideal for normal dry skin types. What the heck is Mondo Grass? It says it helps strengthen the skin's protective barrier. It's interesting that they can do clinical tests on only 31 people. Doesn't that seem like a very small amount to do research? I don't know. But anyways, I'm probably the only one that amuses. So I'm not going to do swatches of this one because this is obviously not my shade and it won't compare it. Like, you won't even be able to see a comparison to my other foundations. It's much darker, just to give you a little bottle comparison. Here's L'Oreal 400. I did want to share that if you've been wanting to pick up the W hoodie, a lot of the shades, a few of the sizes are almost sold out. And I'm so happy that so many of you have been getting them and sharing your photos and stuff. I'm happy that you guys like the thick material and everything. So that will be linked down below. I feel like there's another announcement I had to make. Nope, maybe not. Okay. If you enjoy Foundation Fridays and find this video helpful, you can give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, I upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Okay, so it's 7:34 in the morning. We're starting this one real early, but I'll get into that in a second. I was watching Jessica's no-take tutorial. What am I trying to say? One-take tutorial. Let me know if you guys would want to see that. It looks kind of fun. I don't know. But also very nerve-wracking. I don't know, man. That would be a shit show for me. I feel like she's killing it. I cut out so much stuff, it's not even funny. So you guys have already heard about the shade situation in the intro, but this is what we're working with. So I might try and use it first on its own. I do have my NYX Pro Foundation Mixer here. If I need to mix it, this one I feel like doesn't alter the foundations a whole lot, so I might need to mix that one. So I'm going to try it with a sponge first on this side of my face. I've been loving, I don't know actually the order, I've been pre-filming so much because I'm going on 2 trips back to back, but it's like a bird family right outside my window. But I tested the Wet n Wild sponge in an upcoming video, I think, or it's already up, but I love this sponge so far. Oh yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have to mix this. Ooh. I'm gonna go ahead and add in some of that mixer right over top and just kind of like blend it out on my face because this is definitely not a wearable shade for me. So before this dries down, I'm just gonna go over top with the white one and kind of try and mix it on my face. So if I like this foundation, I will definitely just purchase a lighter shade, but I have so many foundations from ones that I test that if I can avoid having a few extra bottles, I'm gonna do it, you know? Make it work. So it does look like about light coverage with a sponge. I usually get a little bit less coverage with a sponge than I do with a brush. This one is dampened, but it's looking very skin-like. So far so good. I'm gonna do a whole concoction here. Let's mix it on the palette. So I'm basically just putting that much white in. Years ago now, I did a whole video on foundation mixers. For me, I find that the NYX mixer, definitely out of all of them I have, is one that alters the foundation the least. It should be good. With the brush, it's looking a bit streaky. Like, I definitely feel like I need to... I'm gonna go back on the sponge because I actually like this one much better with a sponge. That mixed shade, even with the white mixer, is still a bit too dark, but I don't want to dilute the foundation so much that I'm basically putting on the white shade. So I think my face is just going to be a little bit dark today, but like I said, if I do like this foundation, I will order the other shade. Looks good on the forehead. Pretty rare for me that I like a foundation better with a sponge, but this guy is a sponger. So I'm going to go back in. I have some left over on the palette. I want to see if it's buildable just on these areas, and I feel like now I have a good shade happening on the palette, so I kind of just want to go over. So, long story very short, I tried an occipital nerve block injection yesterday for the first time, and I don't know why, but I woke up at 2 a.m. wide awake, and I had a muscle relaxant in me, which normally those like knock me out, and then I woke up at 5 a.m. also wide awake. So I showered and everything, and that's why we're starting this video so early today. That is looking beautiful, especially on my forehead. It's not clinging anywhere. I would want a little bit more coverage right there. It is after building it up, so if you have a lot of redness, this one isn't going to cover that. I would say this is light coverage for that reason. Most medium coverage foundations will kind of cover that a little bit better, especially because I already built this one up, you know? See how it feels. Does have a tacky finish, but not too bad. Like, I think I could blend stuff over top, but I am going to powder right here because I like a little bit more coverage right there anyways. So when I'm powdering, I'm just going right here just so I can blend blush bronzer and add like a touch more coverage right there. So right now it's 7:44, just turned. I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup. I'm just chilling today. Need to get a lot of videos edited. I leave in a couple days for a trip. Just need to get ahead on work. Need to do laundry, need to pack, all the fun things. So I'm probably just gonna do pretty chill makeup. I'll see you guys in a few minutes. Okay, so it's now 8:22, but I took my sweet time with my makeup today. So the check-in time is 8 o'clock since that's when I finished up with my base. Right now, I am liking it for light coverage. I think it looks really nice. It looks like a little bit more matte than I was kind of picturing right here, so I'm hoping that doesn't start creasing throughout the day. Looks like there's some super faint lines starting, but not bad. And then I really like how my forehead looks. I think out of everything, my forehead looks great. It says skin feels supple, plumped, and is visibly smoother. My skin doesn't feel dry right now. I wouldn't say it's like the most moisturizing I've ever felt, but it doesn't feel dry. We'll do a shot in natural lighting in a second, but the makeup I used on the rest of my face, good old ColourPop Bare Necessities palette for my eyeshadow. I just love the way my shadow comes out every time I use this palette. The only thing is, don't get this if you're buying it thinking it's a cool tone palette, because all of the colors, even the ones that look kind of cool toned, pull very warm, at least on my skin tone. So for a warm neutral palette, I really like this one. I tried this, which is mentioned in the Target video. Again, same one, the Wet n Wild sponge, either coming or it's already up. But this is the Voluminous Lash Paradise Liquid Eyeliner in Rose Gold. This is a hard pass. It's very dry, barely any product comes on here. It's supposed to be like a rose gold liquid liner. Going over eyeshadow, like to try and create a line, it just barely showed up. So I ended up going over with black to kind of smudge it out because you couldn't see it anyways. So that one's a pass. Lips, first I put down Huda Beauty Girlfriend, and then I wanted to test this too from that video. This is the NYX Push Up Lingerie. This is in the shade Corset, and this shade is like that milky chocolate. It reminds me of the Huda Beauty, not Anniversary, the other one I love. Very similar shade, and I almost feel like I could have just put this one down. I didn't know how the shade was going to be because I hadn't opened it yet, but this is a very pretty, like, neutral nude shade. Also feels very minty. Bronzer, just a touch of this, like always. Milani, I used Spice Rose Powder Blush. And then for a highlight, I wish I remember who the heck I saw doing this. I feel like it was someone on Instagram stories. I cannot remember, and I wish I did because I want to give them credit, but someone said that this is a dupe for the Jaclyn Hill, one of her new like highlighters. I haven't tried any of her highlights, so I can't say how it compares, but this is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. So this is supposed to be a setting powder, and I'm pretty sure I tested this one in the recent e.l.f. video I did, but I tried it as a highlight today just for like a very natural glow, and it looks really pretty. It looks very skin-like. On my skin tone, it's like barely highlighting, but you can see it there. I'm gonna keep testing that as a highlight because so far I like it for just like a very natural looking highlight. Let's go see what this looks like in natural lighting, and we'll do a flash test. Like, I need to add a little bit of liquid liner or something. This is just the Wet n Wild new breakup proof. Okay, so we are in front of the window. It still looks nice. I like how it looks on my forehead, but I just feel like it looks, I don't know, you guys know my thing with light coverage foundations. Like, if I'm wearing light coverage, I just like it to look super skin-like. And I feel like it looks a tiny bit makeup-y right in here. And this is kind of like my problem area. But let me zoom in. Also, the mixing still looks a bit dark, but that's okay. That's just not the foundation's fault. So here's my forehead. By the way, when I was filming the February Raves and Rejects video, I filmed on this camera, and there were some clicking noises I noticed. So hopefully this Sony is not dying already because this is brand new. See what I mean? Like, it doesn't look bad at all. It looks overall nice, but I just noticed, like, doesn't look super natural around this area to me, just compared to some other ones I have. So let's do a flash test. I might start doing flash tests back in here because I feel like that gives kind of like more accurate, just because it's darker right here. Oh yeah, I think that is a little bit more accurate maybe. I think it looks actually good in flash. I don't know, man, like now it looks really good right here. Maybe it was just that lighting angle because now I'm liking it a little bit more. We'll see how this one wears throughout the day, and I'll catch you guys in a few hours back in natural lighting. Okie dokie, it's freezing in my house right now, so I just have on my North Face, but it is now 1 o'clock. So foundation's been on for 5 hours, and I've looked at my face a few times in natural lighting and just like in my kitchen stuff. Overall, I like how my forehead looks, but the rest of my face, I'm not loving it. Just like I said before, it just looks a little bit too makeup-y right here for me compared to other foundations I have. And for $40, you know, don't really think it's worth it, but maybe the foundation mixer is the culprit. I doubt it because I used such a small amount of that. I do still like my forehead. I feel like it has oxidized, maybe like half a shade, not crazy, but I do think it has darkened a little bit, but it was dark to start with too, so it's kind of hard to tell. But also I put the Bambi, I think it's L'Oreal Bambi mascara on my bottom lashes today to try it, and it's like transferring down, so would not recommend. So I am still going to keep this on for a few more hours, but I feel like I kind of have my thoughts on this one because for me, especially with light coverage, it's just not worth it to have one that I don't absolutely love and looks like super skin-like and natural, because I have a handful of them that do. So that's where I'm at with this one, but we'll see how it looks by the end of the night. Foundation's now been on for 10 hours. It's 6:10. So let's look at my face. Same kind of thing as before, except my forehead looks, some would say, oily. I actually don't mind this level of oil or dew, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what it is. But down here just doesn't look great. But on this half of my face still is where I don't like it. I'm getting faint upper lip creasing, and then it also just looks kind of like textured and makeup-y, like I've said 15 times. So for the price and then for the coverage, I just don't think this is personally one that I'm going to be reaching for. Maybe it would wear different without the mixer. Maybe it would wear different if you have a different skin type than me, but I just have drugstore foundations that look amazing on my skin and don't have like this situation. Definitely prefer the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Stick Foundation, the Ultra HD. They have some good foundations. I just think this one's kind of like at the bottom of my list for what I look for. But I hope you guys enjoyed this Foundation Friday and found it helpful. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up. For a second, I thought my camera was like totally upside down. That was weird. But I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.